There's one absolute truth, and that is more companies go broke in their growth phase than any other phase. And the reason that occurs is because they outstrip their ability to manage, their span of control, the resources to do things right. So the growing pains that many firms will experience is when they open up multiple locations because they may not have culture carriers to help them manage in those other places. And in fact, the farther people get away from the core of the business, the harder it is to know exactly what they're doing. The second element is really related to delivering a consistent client service experience. I think that that's why most people are skeptical of whether a true national firm can exist because they perceive this as being such a personal business that you can't systematize the client experience. Now, I would tend to disagree with that because we find this in many service businesses that if you're clear on what's important, then you measure it, you evaluate it, you teach it, and you hold people accountable for it. It doesn't mean that the recommendations, that the solutions for clients will be customized, but the way in which people get to those solutions will certainly be that way. So systematized business approach, customized business advice or financial advice would be become clear. I also worry for financial reasons and regulatory reasons that a pain point will revolve around whether or not they can keep control over how they spend money and make money and how they deploy a proper oversight so that they don't experience any kind of risk, not just compliance or regulatory risk, but reputational risk as well. I think that whether or not there is a true national firm or large regional firms, which will probably be more likely than true national firms, the types of firms that will stand out are those that have a clear proposition in terms of who their optimal client is and what their client experience is going to be. Are they a full-service wealth management firm or a family office or some multifamily office or some type of a business where there's a consistent protocol that they can teach to? I think that it's more likely to occur with those that are serving a higher net worth client base than a mass affluent client base, just because the economics will dictate it. I think it will probably occur through a combination of merger and de novo offices in different locations. I think that the way in which it has to occur will be those that don't leapfrog big markets but actually grow contiguously, kind of using a Starbucks approach or a Nordstrom approach or other organizations that have kind of built out from their core, not tried to just open where there's vast reaches of land between them. I think that the firms that will succeed at that will have an active leadership development program within their own firms so that they can export talent to different locations in order to do that. I think that those who approach it will be clear about how they define success from a critical mass standpoint. For example, it would be unlikely for a firm to be successful with multiple offices if they couldn't achieve a minimum of $5 million in each of those locations. So if they couldn't create, for example, multiple super ensembles in each of the locations they go into, it wouldn't make sense for them to try to do that. I think that what they can emulate, frankly, would be what's happened in the legal profession and the accounting profession. Because just like those, there used to be thousands of solo practitioners or very tiny firms that have mushroomed into large regional or national, in some cases international practices.